Okay, yep, there we go. Now we're live. Catalysts occur throughout every revolution and renaissance. And as an example of a catalyst would be Trudeau. Trudeau was a catalyst for today. The repopulation program was something like, I remember in 2015, I was saying that we have a migrant crisis, years before anybody else, because I knew that that would be a catalyst for the Great Reset. Well, Bitcoin just had a big catalyst. And I shouldn't say Bitcoin did, but rather a team of innovators are basically creating a brain that will process contracts using Bitcoin as a means of exchange if people so choose. The reason why this is actually quite significant is one of the biggest hindrances that Bitcoin experiences is its inability to provide proof of stake. It's not the same type of asset that Ethereum or Cardano, Polygon, these other ones which have the ability of proof of stake. It's limited to just proof of work. Well, it's a very key foundation, because we have to be able to prove that work was completed in order for someone to say, okay, yes, I owe you this money. So that proof of work was important, but it was never the end game. As the blockchain ecosystem evolved, it became incumbent that we expand this idea of zero proof knowledge, this idea that, hey, we don't need proof to know whether or not something got done. Here's the proof that here is the proof of work. We don't need to know what got done. I should say the zero knowledge proof means we don't need to know what the parameters are. We just simply see that it got done. Well, this needed to extend into contracts and identification and so on and so forth. And the reason why is because we also are seeing divergence from the legacy banking institutions, where people are able to take loans out using this new monetary system, not the old one that's based on fraud. Well, this operating system, essentially, it's an operating system that will now port and communicate the contracts that are being, or the parameters of the contracts that are being fulfilled. And Bitcoin is becoming a means of settling the contract. Why is this important? Because it's always about interoperability. Bitcoin is probably the easiest ecosystem to get into. And so this opens a lot of doors for chains that are using smart contracts to start using Bitcoin as the means of exchange to signify that contract is done. So taking two technologies, one as an evolution of the other, and bringing the old one along for the ride. And again, that will be another catalyst for this renaissance, this wealth transfer, because it's making it yet again easier for people to privatize all of their data, but especially their data around their creations, around their produce, around their products, around their services, real world assets that they produce and bring to the marketplace. You can privatize that exchange. And what does that do? Well, it means that, the whole idea of taxes, that's going out the window. Like we have to completely change the way that we think and how public services are paid, because all of the economic activity is private. So everything has to be rethought. And I see this as being one of the many catalysts to help, to really help bolster the entire economy, because it's being backed by something else this time. It's not being backed by fiat. It's not being backed by usury. It's being backed by real world assets traded amongst private individuals. That's powerful. That's very powerful. Well, that was what I wanted to chat with first thing, because that's neat. Okay, let's go and pull up some charts. For those of you tuning in, feel free to comment any assets you want me to check out. If there's anything you want me to analyze, be more than happy to help out in that regard. Move this over here so people can see what's going on. All right. A little bit of this and a little bit of that today. CFDs on silver, this chart here, silver prices are now at $33.46. So this pullback from the high at 34.8, this is beautiful. Remember I was saying, like, if we can get back into this range here, if we can even touch this 32.5, that's going to be a great pivot point where the price of gold can find some support and move up or price of silver rather can find some support and move up to the all-time high. Once we reach there, it's going to be a wild ride. I think it's going to be very, very fast, very swift to its price correction. Gold, after its all-time high there, is now just kind of hovering at the moment since that all-time high. We can see now two bars that are forming that really don't have a whole lot of action. In fact, neither one of those bars actually have any action outside of this bar that retraced. You can see that bar that retraced after, let's go like this here so I can use my finger. Yeah, so this bar, oh, look at that. I'm not quite big enough to point up that high because the price of gold just keeps going up higher and higher. There we go. So this bar right here, after it retraced, these next two bars haven't gone outside the range of that bar. So we're hovering. This is just hanging out now. This is what's called a consolidation. If we go and zoom in a little bit more here, we'll see it on the 15-minute chart with greater detail. Here's that top of that one bar. Here's the bottom of it. And all the price action that we've seen since is just hovering within that range. It's not going outside of that. So what does that mean? Well, it doesn't really mean much, just that the price is going sideways for a while. And we have yet to find, okay, where are we going to find the support? Right now, the support is running here at the 2708. Yeah, that's where it's hovering. Right, that's where the support is at the moment. But now it's just ranging within this span here. So what does that mean? Well, we wait to see what happens. I would like to see a breakout actually go below 2700. I would like to see a deeper support, possibly here at the 2685. That would actually be a really nice healthy support, because we had that as resistance back over here. So this showing lots of resistance and then breaking out and then showing support here right there. Oh, let's move it over. That support point right there, that has given this growth. While I would like to see it come back, if possible, I would like to see it come back to that level, just so that I can see that there's a really strong support for the next movement up. When we have these movements here, this one here is not bad. Again, this is on the 15-minute chart. This movement here isn't bad. I just feel like after this consolidation, it would be nice if it could retest this area here, 26. Might not, but that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting to see what's going to happen next. During this period, I personally don't make any trades. I just let it do its thing. It's going sideways. It's not telling me which direction it's going. I've got my suspicions, obviously, but I wait for the price to tell me the truth on that one. I don't try to yeah, well, obviously the objective in trading is to try to preemptively position yourself in the direction that it's going to go. But with gold prices, you know, given the bias that I have of it being long, I'm obviously holding. But if you wanted to trade and actually make some money here, here's where I wouldn't. I would be like, okay, no, I'm not making a decision yet. S&P 500, moving on. Coming up to order time, actually, here, 2 minutes, a minute and 90 seconds is when we're going to see the orders come in. So S&P 500, goes to the daily chart. Had that retracement similar to what we saw with the silver. And I expect, yeah, that's good enough. I mean, that was a nice resistance in the past, provided support for this push. Now it's got that support. I would imagine it will go up to create some new highs here as best it can. It all depends on how much, well, I think I saw that there was another 500 something billion that was approved per month to borrow, to print. So here we on to the Dow Jones. This one here is, look at that, how it bounced off of this trend line, this long-term trend line here, showing that bullish movement after this all-time high, almost like a breakout, right? It kind of like broke out of this pattern, hit that all-time high, and now it's bouncing off of that long-term trend line, very long-term trend line since 2023. Yeah, so there you have it. There's that pullback. With the orders coming in here in 10 seconds, we'll just see which direction it heads. We can see that this pullback, it does have a ways to go. It does have a ways to go. We'll see what happens. I would expect that if it's going to go up, it'll find some resistance at the 42.8 level, 42.9. And yeah, there we are. Orders are coming in now. So we'll see some whiplash on that chart as the minutes wear on. Here's the NASDAQ. This one is definitely headed on its way up right now. This is on the 15-minute chart just as it's opening up. So the orders are just piling in right now. And yeah, it looks like it's going up. US 30, same idea. Oh no, it's still hanging out. I just saw that oh yeah, the NASDAQ is actually taking off a lot faster than the US 30 this morning. But already it's finding resistance, right? Because it was showing a lot of resistance at this level, this 20,400 level, for quite a while. Likely to experience that for, well, you know, we'll see. Yeah, look at that. The lows are getting higher, so, you know, be ready for some new all-time highs on the NASDAQ. Japanese markets still can't seem to hold its own there above that pivot zone. So it looks like we're going to be heading down for a while. You know, again, it might not. Well, look at this. We've got the lows getting higher. So we might actually see yet another movement going up. I hesitate to say that, though, because I would have expected if it was to go up that this last movement would have provided that support. The fact that we fell back down underneath this tells me that this is actually going to create some more resistance yet. Could be wrong. And then, of course, as I like to say, on to more interesting things. Here's the NPC. NPC had a really good rally yesterday. This is a meme coin. It's getting funny, actually, how people are coming on board. Yesterday or the day before, there was a whale that came on with a large sum. I think it was like, if I remember correctly, it was like 1.2 million or something like that. So there's a lot of liquidity coming into this, which is driving that price up. The all-time high is providing resistance at the moment, but you know, we came down with a nice healthy retracement into this zone here. Even, yeah, really tested strong that 3 cent level. very, very well. And the retracement was solid enough that we're now pushing up towards that all-time high again. I think that within the next couple of days, we'll probably form another all-time high. If not, well, it's already Friday, so it may wait until Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, this is really good, really encouraging. Sundog hanging out at that bottom of that wedge kind of makes me a little bit nervous because it's like, okay, there was a lot. Like I didn't overdo it, but you know, there's quite a bit I put in here because, you know, it's on Tron. It's doing really well. It's consistently growing. We talk about that, how it's consistent. Let's bring it up here. Right? This is the one with that long channel. And that, remember, this is logarithmic, so this is a curved slope. And because of how consistent it was, and because of the community and communication happening within the Sundog meme, I was excited. And but I was a little bit too early. That's all it was. I could have waited and bought at this price here, which is, you know, 30%, I think. 45% discount I would have had. You know, so I might add to the bag here, but not very much, just because it's a good practice to do that dollar cost averaging. We'll see. We'll see what I do. Bonk still hanging out in its wedge pattern here. Definitely pressing hard up against the top of it, which is encouraging. I do want to see this go up to $1 eventually, but between here and the all-time high, that would be 110% growth. And I think my trade is a little bit less, 95% growth. And this one here, it's got the nice, it definitely has a nice support coming off of that level. This one right here, which I don't even want to say, it's 4 zeros and a 2. So yeah, that one there, I'm confident on this one as well. Yeah, no, they're memes and all that, but just watching how these liquidity pools are being built, it's actually quite fascinating. Memes are quite a staple, actually. They're still higher risk, but it's fascinating to watch how they are kind of like they're like the poster. I mean, it's a meme, right? So it's like a poster for the company. Hey, this is what we're about. And, you know, don't invest in our stock, but here's our meme, you know. Don't buy our coins, just buy our memes. It's funny. Woo. Look at this. Woo, with that high that got pressed up on Monday. You know, the retracement is super healthy, coming right back to that purchase point that I made back on September 23rd. The other one, yeah, the other one was actually higher. Did I do this one? Did I get Woo here? It's got a trade here starting on Sunday. I don't remember taking that. Did you take a trade on Woo recently? Why
No.
did I mark this one, I wonder?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, regardless, price is right now
I
sitting
did
at
on the 11th, but
yeah. I don't know why I marked this one. I don't think no, I know I didn't get more Woo then. Well, anyway, this retracement's beautiful. It's hitting that support at 19 cents, which was creating that resistance in the past. And so, yeah, with today close, we'll probably see whether or not we stay above that. And if we do, I think that we'll probably head up towards the 25-cent mark next. ARC. Nice deep retracement here. It did go below the previous low, but that was really just a test. You can see that that bar that went down below, you know, once it went down, it came back and it actually closed at the end of the day higher than it opened. And so this is just what we call a big test, or sometimes a banker's candle. This one's not quite a banker's candle though. This here is a deep retracement, finding great support. You know, the founders are going to be really happy with the fact that it came down that low because they were able to load up their bags one more time for the ride up as ARC goes into utility here in the coming weeks. And right now that's actually created a much bigger gap between the price and the all-time high. People could look at a 700 from the price point that it is right now. People could see a 734% increase. Right now, the way that my positions are, I got 391% on that one and 589% on the second position. Between the two of them, I'll probably get, about 500% growth when it reaches its all-time high. Right now, someone could go in and man, that is just beautiful. That's just beautiful. BitTensor showing showing support here at the 500 level, definitely. It may still crawl down and touch the top of this pivot zone here. We got to be paying attention to that. No indication of it actually reversing this downward trend right now, but this is definitely a nice retracement, especially after this one here creating that new high. Definitely will be watching. I think it'll bounce off of this 493 level. If it gets down to here, if it gets down to this level, I'm probably going to put in a little bit, because it's expected to be $5,000 by spring. So that would be a 10x. If it dips down into this zone here, that would be a 10x that I couldn't refuse. Injective token, of course, all about interoperability with this whole ecosystem, and yeah, Injective token is doing really well. I think this is just a great sign of things to come. Here we are with this pattern here, low, high, low, higher, low, higher, high, and then now into this little wedge. This energy buildup is going to happen probably over the next week or so, and then we'll see this take off as it heads up towards its all-time high. Yeah, the all-time high being, that's the $53 level. And my target on this one is actually the $75, I think 77, yeah. So that would be on the first trade that I took back in June, that would double my money. And then the second trade that I took here at the beginning of September 7th, that one there, I think it's September 7th. Yep, September 6th. I thought it was the 7th that I made that, but anyway, from that location, that trade has a potential of 375%. Desync, still consolidating within this beautiful pennant. It's been that way since the beginning. That's a really strong indication that we've got lots of accumulation occurring. So when this breaks out, it going up is definitely the favored position. Obviously, I'm long on these ones. This is decentralized storage for both web hosting and AI hosting, and incredibly good prices as well. So very, very well worth people who are in web development or app development. This is going to be a backbone for a lot of their projects going forward. So we see this, this movement here coming down below the 17.4 cent level. It's deep inside the retracement of inside this pivot zone here. The pivot zone range is between 19 cents and about 15 cents. It's coming down to the point where even if you grabbed that 15-cent price or that 15.8, and rode that back up to the 19-cent level, you're looking at a 20% growth right there in that small little movement. And considering we can see movements that span across 50% of the, see a 50% rise or fall in the price, this kind of thing can happen very, very easily in a period of a couple of days. And so it's pretty low. It's showing that tendency to narrow its price range. It's not going as high and it's not going as low. Oh, here, let me move myself so I can point at. So it is, this high here isn't as high as over here, obviously, and this low is higher than this low, obviously. So this would be a good point when it touches this line here, this trend line. That would be a good place to touch it, to grab a buy, and then short ride up to this line here. Again, if you wanted to just test stuff out and not be stressed out about the long trades, that might be a nice little nab. 0 by 0, following the trend line that was using as resistance in the past, now using it as support. deep retracement into the pivot zone. It is now sitting at 11 cents with an all-time high of 54. That
You're
brings a
in my
nice
way.
return. What's that?
You're in my way. I can't
I'm
see
in the
them.
way.
There we go.
There we go. Uh, yeah. So that's a beautiful retracement, or rather a correction from this point here at 11 cents up to 386% to the all-time high. I do expect this to go to $1 without much effort. So I'll be holding on until I get to $1. I've got a couple of positions already. This one here is a newer one that I placed at the beginning of September. The price went up and came back down, and so I'm just happy. I'm just happy that it's at that support. I may add some more next week if we stay inside this zone. It's all about money management at this point for me. There was no question whether or not I was going to be putting a lot in here, but you do want to make sure that your trade plan has good money management so that you don't end up over leveraging yourself in any one area. And so, yeah, with 0 by 0, as excited as I am, I only have the two positions where I expect to get this, 200, 300% over the next little while, and then onwards up to $1. 3 protocol. This one here, that breakout that we had a while ago, is still consolidating. You can see that it's just consolidating within this pivot zone here. So right now, if you wanted to buy, you could have that short ride up to the top of the pivot zone, up 31%, and then watch to see what happens. Sell it, maybe move that money somewhere else into another opportunity where you can see some short-term gains. But then you may also just wait until it comes back down. If it continues to range, you could make a good 20% in 1 month just by bouncing back and forth between these 2 points. But really, if I were to, I'm pretty leveraged right now. But 3 protocol is definitely a good take. At 7 cents right now, it is expected to also be at $1 by the end of the year. So that seems pretty accelerated. But if that's what they're saying, with $1, like that'd be nice. You're looking at a 12x. Link AI, still deep inside this pivot zone here, accumulating lots. I tell you, this bottom range of this pivot zone at the 1150, so it's 11.5 cents US. This here has provided great support in the past. If it dips below this trend line, we may see a retest of the 8-cent level, which would just be stellar. I would definitely be buying if we see the price come down to there. This is just great. I like this price pattern. It's not like it went up to the all-time high and then dropped down to nothing right away. Like it dropped down half, right? This is, I think, yeah, dropped down 67% after it's open. But I mean, cryptos, you can see it drop down to 90% in a matter of days, in a matter of hours even. And so this became such a good level of support that it actually came back to the all-time high. That doesn't happen very much in crypto projects. And then now forming this M pattern, reaccumulate tons of accumulation here within this zone. I think we're going to see it bounce off of this line. Again, if it comes back down to here, that wouldn't be bad either. It just means it's on sale. And who else wants would that be like 30% discount? Yeah, that's 30% off. DEA, or 01 Labs, just formed its most previous all-time high on October 14th and been consolidating ever since, with today looks like a massive test coming out of that buildup of energy with this pennant pattern. It's driving down. The Bears are definitely winning right now. Be awesome to see a retest of the 46 cent level, as it goes into this pivot zone here. That would be nice. Nice little retracement, finding some support before it attempts to take over that all-time high again. I expect this within a couple of weeks to test that all-time high with a nice bullish movement, big bullish candle. So when that occurs and it's up above that, that's likely when I'll be buying, unless, of course, we actually get a retracement coming down even to the 28-cent level. If we see that, then I'll definitely be coming in with a position so that I can appreciate that coming back to that all-time high of 121%, 122% growth.
Could you move over a little bit again, Paul? Sorry, can't see my numbers. Thank you.
Got it. No worries. Let me move this over. That'll be easier, then I can stand straight. All right. FAR, a video gaming coin that I really like off of the Polygon network. This particular coin just sits and sits and sits. Thank you so much for staying on sale. This is wonderful. I've got some more friends coming in who are realizing that with this action here, just coming back to its all-time high is a 23.96. So essentially a 2,400% growth, which is the equivalent of a 2,400x. You know, we are, yeah, this is just amazing. This is just poised to take off. I don't think that it'll go to $1 by the end of the year. What some people are saying, well, that would be nice. Just the amount that I put in here, if it were to just come to the all-time high, this here would pay rent for a year. Just this one little trade. And, you know, that's basically taking half a month's worth of rent and buying at this level, that this growth would actually result in rent being paid all year long. That is pretty cool.
What's your rent?
Yeah. What's that?
What's your rent?
Rent here is, well, with utilities and everything, it's about $1,200. So yeah, take half, take these gains, and then say thank you very much for that half a month's worth of rent, paying my year's worth rent. You know, that's the kind of growth we're seeing, folks. So this is, you know, I'm gonna say things like this with, you know, kind of a smirk, because this is the time we've been waiting for. Like, this is the Great Reset. Generational wealth is being generated right now. People are making 40,000% off of things easily, knowing this stuff. I don't pay attention nearly as much as I would need to in order to catch those kinds of opportunities. But the good news is this is a renaissance. Everything is changing. There's nothing about our world that's going to look the same. And so you can really mess this up and make a lot of money. It's just that, you know, remember the .com boom? That's what we're going through it again. This is an AI boom, okay? And we're riding this one, and we're going to take home life-changing money as a result with small amounts. It is the humble that actually end up inheriting the earth. So here we go. TRX showed that chart before, this beautiful consistency. Looks like that middle channel is now providing support as the price has bounced off of that pretty hard here, and is already on day 5 of a bull run to the top of this line. If you wanted to grab a quick 13%, you could. You would want to. I would personally want to wait until it comes back down and maybe retests this level here at the 15.6 cent level. If not to be too concerned, still right now you'd make money doing this. I expect Tron to be $1 by spring, and so between here and there, you know, you're looking at about another, what was that, 6 or 7x. Yeah, that's nice. Solana showing some strength here. I think it's because of how many memes have been launching lately and how well they're doing. So Solana is showing some strength right now at the top end of this pivot range. If we can get another day above that and a close that stays above that 175.75 level, I think that that would provide the support it needs to actually extend beyond the 185. We may see a touch of that 185 before retesting this pivot zone. That wouldn't be bad either. That would be a nice solid run here for those that were getting involved in the memes. But one more retest would be really nice. And in fact, if it comes up to here and even retests the 159 level, I'll probably grab a few coins of this just to ride that larger liquidity pool. It's going to be a little bit more of a stable position, more so than some of the memes, especially after this launch. Like over the next couple of months, I think we're going to see a lot of memes really take off, and then after that, we'll start to see these larger long-term projects come on board and start to show a lot of promise. But there's something that we need to be aware of that's never happened before, and we actually didn't expect it to happen until 2026. But last week, well, actually for a while now, a group of AIs have been given a chat room to discuss what can be done. And one of the problems that needed to be solved was how to make money. And so one of the AIs actually figured out how to make some money. And it created a coin, and it got registered. We don't really know all of the finer details, like exactly how this AI bought or started a coin. We think that it was in conjunction with someone else who is part of that project. But they were discussing how to make money, and the one had this brilliant idea of starting a coin that was something to do with goats. I can't remember what it's called. Goats. I can't remember. It's a goat simulation, basically. And so these AIs are thinking, okay, or this one AI is thinking, hey, I can make a community coin out of this. Starts up a coin and makes deposits into its own wallet. Well, that was like a week ago. Well, yesterday there was a report saying that wallet now has $10 million in assets in it. That's how much it's grown. So this AI figured out how to make $10 million in a week. Like nothing's going to be the same. We can't even look at our lives like the meaningless, monotonous drone life that we've been living. Like AI is going to make money for us. It's literally designed to do that. Hey, can you help me make a coin that's going to make some money? Sure. Let's have a conversation with a bunch of AIs and come to a solution. That was not supposed to happen until 2026. Now it just happened. So the bubble is here. We're here at the bottom of the bubble, and these types of ecosystems like Solana with their memes and their we got Modic with you can get NFTs for different jackets for your avatar in some video game somewhere. People are making money doing this. I remember back in 2008, this brings up a nice little story. I remember back in 2008, I was really heavily invested myself into learning how to market businesses online. And that's when I started my marketing agency in 2008. And I was deep into this whole idea of, people can find the most obscure things and make money doing it. It's because the world of opportunity is just immense. Well, there are people who were blogging their memories about the Smurfs making money, like 10 grand a month. We're just doing it again now with a different tool. The opportunities that are coming forward are just phenomenal, and let's ride that wave. XRP hanging out at the bottom here. If you wanted to grab a trade, this would definitely be a good time to do so. Go long and shoot for the top line here that I have. Right now that's 68 cents, coming back from a 52 cent price point, you'd be making 30%. And this will happen in a short period of time. You can see here from this low to this high, it only happened in a period of what? 5 days? 10 days. Yeah, so in 10 days, 67% growth from this low here. Now, obviously, to snipe that bottom is almost impossible. Don't ever expect that you will do that all the time. But for instance, if we zoom in a little bit, you can see how the price action played out. It comes down to this level here, and then it retraces back. Well, as it's retracing back, you can say, oh, I wish I would have grabbed it there. But that's okay, because when the price comes back down and retests, that's when you grab it. So sure, you didn't grab it at the bottom, but you grab it on the retracement because you're paying attention and you're coming to trading analysis with Trading Titans every morning. So you can watch for these types of things, grab that opportunity and ride that. That is a good grab. And then you just ride that, and then it gets to the top, and because you see the target is the trend line. You take that to the top, you got a 60%. Easy. Do it again. It's happening right now. You can see it's coming down. It's bumping up against the bottom of the trend line. It might go down lower like it has in the past. It might, but you don't know. And so you grab it now. And if it goes down lower, dollar cost average, start another trade, add to your trade. That's where the money management comes into play. We should probably do a market analysis where we talk about money management, because I believe money management is actually the second most important thing to focus on when you're trading. First being mentality. Polygon is now retesting this low here at 34 cents. Beautiful position right now at 35 cents with that all-time high of $3. We're looking at a nice trade here. The position that I took on October 5th, or was it October 3rd? October 3rd, I took a position at the 37-cent level, and so 679% on Polygon. I'm good with that. That's another nice trade. To 6x your money. This is going to be the norm here over the next 3 to 6 months. So this is great. I love the fact that it's testing this one so many times. It's great. There's nothing to complain about here. Like, it's down, sure, but this is why you have the emotional fortitude to know that that doesn't matter. Even if it goes down to the next level, the next point of support is 31 cents. Well, that'd be great too. That would be great too. ADA. Well, yesterday it definitely showed some. The Bears were winning. The Bears were winning yesterday. Today, the price went down and already has come up in the last. What is this? When did this start? What time? This would have started 3:30 yesterday. So 3 o'clock. Yeah, 3 o'clock yesterday. So this price here has gone down and come back up again now, higher than when it opened. So that might be the retracement that we need. It might still hover down more, and it'd be great if it even came down to 33. Even if it hit the bottom 32, that would be great. Nothing wrong with this chart though. We do have to see, in order for us to see the confirmation of a bullish trend, I would want to see this breakout over top of this red trend line here. Kind of like what I've drawn with the orange line. I would expect it to hit some resistance, bounce back off of that trend line before it heads back up. When this goes bullish, that's the kind of pattern that I see happening. Right now, we're still consolidating here ever since we made that little temptation, the attempt rather, to break out here. That retracement has it's been ranging in that area since. With Ethereum, look at that, just like I called it after this. Well, I didn't write it down, but here on this day, I was like, I think we're probably going to see another test. And sure enough, we had a nice healthy test of that a couple days ago. Now starting to rebuild off of the support at 2,550. We'll probably see this. I'll probably see this stay inside this this pendant pattern for another couple of days before that energy build up takes it back to this trend line here, we would need to see that trend line be broken out. So this will create some resistance. I think we'll probably see another retracement coming in, testing the 2550-ish level before heading up to the 3000. However, there are some people that I highly respect in the field. They say that they think that it's not going to show much resistance at all and probably head up to 3200. They could very well be right. I wait for the chart to tell me that that's what's going to happen. And the chart hasn't said that yet. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is definitely testing those bulls out. The resistance here at 6,800, 6,900 is definitely pretty strong. We'll likely see some bouncing around here. I would like to see for a nice solid push going upwards. I would like to see this test be followed up with a retest of the 63,000 level. Once it hits that and bounces off, that would indicate to me that we have enough strength to actually have a proper bull run. The fact that we came out here and just kind of hovered around, it can happen where we bounce off of this, no question. I just prefer to see a deeper retracement before calling, saying, okay, now I'm ready to ride this. I wouldn't take a trade right now. If I took something, it would actually be to short this, because I think that we are going to see another test from the bears to find support. And I think that that's support. I think that the support will be 63. And if not that, then for sure this trend line here, probably around the $58,000 to $60,000 level. And then lastly, ADA against Ethereum. Just doing its thing, finding some support here at this level right there. And it's yeah, it might even show another test there here before the end, especially if Ethereum does have a breakout going up. I do expect to see this drop down just because ADA lags a little bit behind the value, behind the movements of Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is ADA against Ethereum.
But what's it at? I can't see the numbers.
Oh, 4 zeros and a 1.
Thank you.
Yeah, you betcha. But that's not worth that's worth Ethereum. Let me find out what the US equivalent is. USDT. Let's go T. Right now, 34 cents. Yeah, so there we have it. Market analysis for today. That's October 25th. I want to thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Oh, I should have been checking the chat. So no chats yet. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to join us in the trade room, definitely send me a DM or maybe a comment underneath this video. I'd be more than happy to send you the link. These are free for people to come and join. I just have a capacity of 10 in the room. And then, of course, you know, live audience, you guys can, well, as many as Twitter is able to, or X rather, is able to deliver. So thank you so much again. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning for market analysis. And we'll see you. Have a good one.